before. But basically, as long as you keep the barrel full, they're semi-automatic because they change over on their own. When that's full, the arm will go back and cut the thread and another one will come in. So they're semi-automatic. That one will change in a moment. This one will change now. We'll go on a bit further. Now this is a process called drawing in, and actually when your beams come off the tape sizing plant that I showed you with your warp thread on it, it then has to be drawn through a heald and a reed before it can go on to the loom for weaving. Now if I can find them, yeah, here we have, these are heels and that is a reed. Now the idea is, I don't know if you can see, but every one of these strands has an eye in the middle, and every one of those threads has to be drawn through one of these eyes. You could have maybe 2 up to about 8 staves, as they call them, and according to the pattern you want, you've got to alternate drawing them in, missing one, taking the next one, and so on. So you get every thread drawn through every eye, like you can see there, and then it has to be drawn through a slot in the reed before it can come out at the other side to be woven on a loom. So basically, the man that should be sat over there is called a drawer-in. He's doing that process. The beam with the reed and the heels all goes together and is taken into the mill to be put on the loom for weaving. Now in some mills in the old days where they used child labour, which we never did here actually, but you could have this beam would be further back, thereby forming a tent affair, and you'd have a child sat under there picking the threads out, so that when the drawer in at that side pushed his needle through the eyes in the heels, the child would hook a thread onto it and pull it back. He'd pull it back, you see. So he was called the drawer in, the child was called the reacher in. And in those days, like you were working on piecework, if the child wasn't quick enough, you got the needles stuck into your fingers, or they got a kick underneath, you know. So this is the second third of the mill I was telling you about.